Hallo Leute, morgen, was geht ab? Heute gehe ich zum HIV-Arzt und ich dachte, ich würde euch mitnehmen. Alright, I hope that was clear to everyone. That was a joke. I do actually talk like that in German, but I would never do that seriously. Anyway, hello everyone. My name is Diana, and for those of you who don't know, I was born with HIV. And I thought it would be cool to take you on a little bit of a journey, a little bit of an adventure, and that is going to the HIV doctors. Not just any HIV doctor, I'm talking about the one in Germany. That's right, Deutschland. I grew up in California and I moved to Germany a few years ago. Not only did I think it'd be cool to take you along for the visit, but I thought it'd be also fun to teach you some German words. So I'll be sprinkling in some useful, beneficial words that you might need if you try to go to the doctors here in Germany. And for that, at the end of this video, at this timestamp, I'll also leave a little list of all the German words that I use that might be helpful for you. I guess it's kind of like killing two birds with one stone, or as the Germans put it, zwei Fliegen mit einer Klappe. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, but you get the idea. So get ready, we're gonna go to the HIV doctors. Just as a bit of a warning, because I think the Datenschutz or the data privacy here in Germany is quite strong, I don't think I'll be able to film inside the actual visit, but I'll do a quick recap and I'll also go along the process of what do you need and what do you do during the appointments. All right, I think that's it, so let's go.
Wait, there's actually two more things we need.
So whenever you go to the appointment or Termin, there are two things you're going to need with you. The first thing is called the Überweisung, and this is the referral that you get from your Hausarzt or Hausärztin if she's a female, as in my case, which is the family doctor you have here. So because HIV doctors are a specialty, for example, mine is in the Immunologie Ambulance, so usually they're like infectious diseases or something like that, then you need this referral or Überweisung from your Hausarzt in order to visit the HIV doctors. This is what it looks like. All right, just for reference, we have a closer look at the Überweisung. For example, we got the Quartal right here. Again, Immunologie, this is my private information here, HIV or HIV infection, and then the doctor is asking that she gets control for it, and then also a report, and this is just the doctor's seal of approval. It's actually super easy to get. You just need to call your Hausarzt up and say, hey, I have a Termin with the HIV doctor, I need the Überweisung, and they will just print it out for you, and you can pick it up usually the day of or the next day. And sometimes I pick it up right before my HIV doctor visit, or like this time I actually picked it up a little bit earlier, so that way I can go straight to the HIV doctors and I don't have to do any detour of any kind. Then the next thing you're gonna need is called your Krankenversicherungskarte, also known as Gesundheitskarte, and it looks like this. It's pretty cool. This is your health insurance card. I love it because it's so neat and handy. It looks like a debit and credit card, so when you go, not just to the HIV doctors, but anywhere you go for the doctors here in Germany, you need this card and you just kind of like slide it in, just like a credit card. It's awesome, and they have all your information on there. So that's all you need. There's just one more thing that I kind of want to point out that's really annoying and frustrating, even for the Hausärzte, is this freaking Überweisung. So there's the system, like the Viertel system or Quartal system, so it's the quarter system here, and anytime you go to the HIV doctors, you need the Überweisung for every quarter of the year. So if you're going like January to March, you're going to need one from there, and then April to June, you're going to need a new one there. What's annoying is that even though HIV is a lifelong disease or chronic illness or whatever, you still somehow need to give this Überweisung to let the HIV doctor know that you're allowed to go there. I think it's just bureaucracy at this point. I mean, if anyone lives in Germany, you understand the bureaucracy here in Germany is a little but even the Hausärzte get annoyed because I only get my medicine every 3 months, and so every 3 months I need a new Überweisung, even though I don't go physically into the office like the HIV doctors. I still need to present the Originale Überweisung, so the original referral, to them in order to get my prescription for my medicine. And that I have to do every 3 months. So it's not like I can do this every 6 months, or I can't mail it in or have it automatic. And I think it was more automatic back in the States. So that's just a little bit frustrating. But I think it's just the system, and that's how you have to do it. But just so you know. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna take these two things with me and we're gonna go head out.
So when I first arrived here, I was actually coming in quite frequently for the checkups, meaning every 3 months or so. This entails exactly what a normal checkup is. I mean, you do your lab work, you look at your lab results from the previous time, and also you get your prescription for the next round of medicine. Back in California, I was going into the doctors maybe every 6 months or even once a year, so it was quite strange to up the frequency to 3 months. But the reason they did this was because you're going to be a new patient, so they need to make sure alles ist in Ordnung or everything is okay in their Handlung or treatment. Also, I changed my medication, so instead of taking whatever I was in the States, I switched to the 1 pill a day here in Germany, and they just need to monitor my viral load. Now I graduated to every 6 months, so started from the bottom, now we here. Alright, anyway.
20 minutes later.
Alright, here we are. It's always a beautiful bike ride, well, at least in the summer. Not going to lie, most of the times you will probably have to wait for the doctor's visits here. It's never been longer than an hour, but that can totally happen. So just make sure you come prepared with a book or something else to keep you entertained. Also, heads up, AC is not really a thing here in Germany, which is really good for the environment, but it can get super hot and humid in the summer months. And if you really want to become Eingedeutsch, get yourself some Birkenstock. Just watch out for the tan lines.
All right, so I just finished up with my Termin. Essentially, there's always two parts to it. The first one is really just the discussion with your doctor, and the second one is actually the blood draw. So the first one where you talk about with your doctor, I'm not gonna go into much detail with that because that should be only personal information and everything, but this is where you can raise any concerns you have. Maybe you have side effects to the medication, maybe you want to try something else, whatever it may be, you're just curious. If you even have any like sexual health questions, the doctor is always happy to answer that, so feel free to do that. And then for the second part, for the blood draw, I mean, it's just easy. Pull your sleeves up and then they do the rest for you. Hopefully by now, if you're HIV positive, you're no longer squeamish about putting needles into your arm or anything like that. They go through quite a lot of vials, but you know, since you've been doing this like you were 2.5 years old, it's just second nature to you. I don't even mind anymore. You just get like a little, you don't see it, there's a bandage there, but you get a little bandage there. Yeah, so the two things that I got that are important after the Termin are what's called your Rezept, which is your prescription for the medicine, and I'll show you in a second, and then also your Ergebnisse, so your like Laborergebnisse, so your lab results from the previous blood draw. Again, a closer up, they usually have your private information and then what you need. This time for my results, I just got the one where it tells me I have negative HIV. They usually do a lot more other things. I mean, they're clearly taking more vials of blood and it's not all for HIV. So they're gonna send me that via mail. And by via mail, I mean via post. So now my next step is I'm gonna go to the Apotheke, which is the pharmacy here, and I'm going to get the prescription filled out. And yeah, so let's do that. Okay, so I just left the Apotheke, and normally when you arrive there and you need like the HIV medication, they won't have it on hand. So what you have to do is something called a Bestellung, or an order. Pretty much, you just go in one day and they'll usually have it ready the next day by 2 p.m. and you get like a little number. Either you can pay upfront or you could pay later, like when you do the pickup, which is normally what I do, and it's a really huge trust system, I would say. Just be aware that if you come in on a Saturday, because everything is closed on Sunday, they will have it ready earliest Monday. And typically you can go to any Apotheke. I just go to the one that's always closest to me because obviously easier for the pickup. And yeah, so that's easy. One more thing I totally forgot to mention is make sure you keep this number safe, because if you do lose it, it's not the end of the world, but you're just gonna need to show your Ausweis or your ID to verify that it's actually you when you do pick it up. Happened to me once before, it's totally fine, but just
keep in mind, put it somewhere safe, put it in your wallet, make sure you just don't lose it.
The next day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got the drugs. What we get here is a very generous 3-month supply, aka that turns into 1 bottle per month. Do you want to know how much one of these things cost? Around 1,000 euros per bottle, which means this little pill here that you're taking every single day costs around 30 euros. The plus side is the health insurance got you covered, so you only have to pay the amazing price of 10 euros for 3 months, which is not bad.
So, that is the very German way of being like, all right, Leute, time to go. Our work here is done. Anyway, thank you so much for accompanying me on this journey of the HIV doctor's visit here in Deutschland. Es war gar nicht so schlimm, oder? Pretty easy, I would say. Really curious to also hear what's it like in your own country, if the systems compare to Germany. So drop a comment down below. I'd love to see it. And as always, thanks for watching and see you next time. Ciao!